And there, a bit earlier, the Heat getting mentally and physically ready. The Lakers continue their journey as they play an interconference matchup in this road game. Welcome to the American Airlines Arena, home of the Miami Heat, and a great venue for basketball. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. Alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. A factor in every game. Pau Gasol will be on display.
Well, great length and skill for Gasol, guys. People forget he's one of the best post scorers in the game. A little underrated, if that's possible. He can finish with either hand, great footwork. He can score on the block. He can face you up and knock down a jump shot. To me, he's the most skilled big man in the game right now.
And Steve, you talk about his skill level, his passing and vision for a big guy. Really unique and special. Whether on the high post or low post, he does an excellent job finding his teammates for hoops. You know, part of being a championship team is having the talent first and foremost, but then managing the minutes of that talent. The Heat, I thought, did a nice job monitoring the minutes of the big three throughout the season and playoffs last year.
And here's James outside. The shot's good on the assist by Wade. LeBron's got the first basket of the game for Miami. And the Lakers with possession here. It's a three-point game. Here's Nash. The shot is off. Some solid defense from Chalmers. As you said, Clark, the big three in their prime, but really, you want them to just get their work in during the season, not exhaust themselves before they make it to the playoffs.
I thought, Kevin, along those lines, I thought by the end of last season, Miami was exhausted. And once you try to win a third title in a row, the emotional fatigue and exhaustion really becomes a factor. So this is going to be interesting to watch all year.
Here's LeBron. Chris Kaman making his last shot. Here's Bosch, and he dunks it down. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Nash against Chalmers. Nash gets a screen from Bryant. Feeds to Gasol. On the wing, Bryant. Shot clock at 6. It's stolen by Wade. In transition, here comes Miami.
Hammer time! Hammer time! Terrible transition defense there.
I think it would have been pointless, Steve. There was no way anybody was beating him to the basket there.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. Here's Kobe. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. James with it. Guarded now by Nash. Ryan against Wade. Bosch kicks to Wade. Back to Bosch. And it's Miami with another.
5 of 5 to start the game, and it might be the second quarter before they miss the way they're knocking these shots down. Boy, everything's pure.
Or coming off a title last year, you always wonder if a team will maybe relax a little bit. They usually won't admit to it, but Chris Bosch readily said it at times that his team had a difficult time lighting that fire again.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey, Kevin. Well, Mike D'Antoni had a few minutes for me. There haven't been many players that have the physical prowess of LeBron James, and he knows that this is going to pose a lot of problems for his team. He told me the most amazing thing to him about LeBron was that he has the ability to be a force at virtually any position on the floor, from point guard to center. He can and does do it all, guys.
Thank you, Doris. To go back to what Bosch said, I think that is true for every team, Clark, that comes off a championship, but they usually don't admit it like Bosch does.
Well, you know what? Once you've won it all, there is a bit of a relief and a little malaise that may settle over you, but I've always respected Bosch's candor. He's a guy who doesn't bite his tongue, and he articulates what he feels, and I think it's impressive that they fought back to the finals once more, because that shows they eventually did recapture that fire.
Free throw good, James.
You know, there are a number of things that went wrong for the Lakers, and a lot of it led to them being a poor team on the road. They just didn't Looked like they were on the same page whenever they played away from Staples.
And both free throws good for LeBron. Back to the Lakers in their play on the road. It wasn't for their lack of scoring. They would put up just about as many on the road as they would at home. Steve, it's just that they wouldn't get the stops. The defense wasn't what they needed for road wins.
Well, if you're going to win on the road, Kevin, you have to get stops. And the Lakers didn't do that. And, you know, you think about this year without Dwight Howard now, that defense is only going to get worse. So I would look for the road to be a major issue this year for the Lakers. And
the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. The Lakers making a switch here. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Dishes it to Bryant. Good D by Wade.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them.
Here's Chalmers. Bryant with the rebound. Lakers trail by 6. Hill sets the screen for Kobe. Chops loose off the pick and hammers it home.
That's basketball 101, guys. I mean, elementary. Use the screen to free yourself and then take it straight to the rack.
Yeah, very nice set play for him.
Well, that's using your head and using your body.
The Heat have gotten 6 or 7 shots to fall in the first quarter. They're off and running. LeBron dishes to Wade. Pass to Anderson. Back to Wade. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Wade's got his first 2 points of the night.
He's very savvy in traffic. When he gets inside, has a kind of an uncanny way of shielding himself from contact and finding a way to finish at the rim.
And you know what else, Steve? Watching him run the pick and roll is like watching poetry in motion. I mean, this guy has that basic play down pat. He's unstoppable when he runs it. He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well.
There's the pass to Battier. Back to Wade. Passes it to Anderson. And the shot is good.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Savage, that's the way to get some momentum on your side.
Absolutely. Those dunks can really have a deflating effect on the defense.
Especially coming from a guy out of the backcourt.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Miami.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
Yeah, their passing has been terrific, too. Clark, we're seeing a lot of assists, really moving, a lot of flow offensively. I like what I see.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Lakers trail by 4. There's 49 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Blake passes to Johnson. Goes up to the stripe. Miami grabs the miss. Cole off the pick from Battier. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
They're losing their concentration here, guys. Some sloppy play going on right now.
Yep, 2 turnovers in a row for them. That's a recipe for disaster.
.32 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Farmar. He's guarded by Cole. Here's Blake. And Allen with the block. And that'll be the Lakers as it goes out of bounds. Lakers retain possession. Here's Gasol. On the wing, Johnson. Covered by LeBron. Shot clock at 6. Here's Farmar. And again, no good by the Lakers.
Great look. Disappointing result.
You know, most times he knocks that one down.
Here's Blake. Buried from 15 feet out. Blake's got his first bucket in this one.
Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
I tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Plenty of offense in this closely contested first quarter of play. Heat lead by 2. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena.
Let's go.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And when you consider how the Heat are doing, Stephen Clark, what are your thoughts?
And I like what they've done offensively, really attacking the rim, getting a lot of points in the paint.
And guys, they've been the aggressor early. I mean, attacking the hoop and getting into the paint, that can make the game really easy for you. Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference had a better than 500 record against the West, and no surprise the Heat were one of those 3, and they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
Taking a look at Los Angeles, we've got Johnson. Steve Blake is out there with Farmar. Then there's Chris Kaman, and it's Hill in at the 4 slot. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that's used to attracting marquee free agents from other teams, not losing their own in free agency. But this offseason, Dwight Howard decided to move on, turning down a larger guaranteed contract with the LA Lakers. A tough blow for the league's banner franchise, who've taken out a number of huge billboards around town asking Dwight to stay. Sources said he wasn't overjoyed with the system the Lakers employed under head coach Mike D'Antoni, and also perhaps didn't enjoy playing alongside the always hyper-intense Kobe Bryant. Guys, we'll just have to see how big of a setback that becomes for this team's championship aspirations.
Well, we'll see if the Lakers can find a way. Thank you, Doris. Mark, adding on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5. Which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
That's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. And so I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were.
Kaman gave up his old caveman look, guys, but he's still an intimidating presence in the post. Good size and strength and doesn't really get pushed around. Also excellent timing when it comes to shot blocking.
Now here's Wade. He dishes it to Bosh. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. Nick Young's checked in for Johnson. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. And Chris Kaman skilled offensively, ambidextrous, finishing inside, and a good mid-range shooter.
Yeah, I think he's really good offensively. He's got a lot of skill. He's tough to handle. I mean, the question mark with him is defensively. You know, his weak side rotations can be late. He's never really been, you know, a center that you kind of solidify your defense around. Great-looking bounce pass to set up that play.
The Lakers shooting and offensive execution has been beyond great there. 63% from the floor in this game. Nash kicks to Kaman. Nash against Chalmers. Pass to Kobe. Kaman, a screen on Wade. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Well, good idea setting that screen, but the execution wasn't there.
No, it sure wasn't. I mean, you want it to be hard, but it also has to be legal.
And here are the Heat. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. The dish to Chalmers. Inside to Bosh. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Chris Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
Free throw good. Bosch. And for Bosch, playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls. And, the way the league is these days, Kevin, most teams play smaller. And Bosch can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
Now, here's Nash. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Good.
What a nice feed by Kobe that time.
And Miami has possession. They trail by 1. And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
It seems to me Nick Young is a perfect guy to have coming off the bench because he's a volume shooter and scorer who can get hot in a hurry. But I think his best role is to play him kind of in a Jamal Crawford type role.
Here's Allen. He feeds it to Chalmers. That is good. Chalmers has got his second bucket of the game to go. Going back to Nick Young, Clark, mostly a scorer.
He sure is, Kevin, an athletic 6'7" wing. I don't think there's any reason he can't be a plus rebounder and defender, but it's clear that his focus primarily has been on the offensive end.
Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
I think both teams feel like they can win. They both have confidence. So we'll see which team can kind of ride the momentum and take control of this game.
Wade drives in, and he gets it to go. And the Heat lead by 1.
Another lead change. How many of these are we going to have?
I don't know, Steve, but the momentum of this game has certainly swung like a pendulum.
Young against Allen. Here's Bryant, rejected by Wade. But they get it back. 6 to shoot. And Young kicks it over to Nash. Another shot. And the shot is long.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hi, guys. Well, LeBron James' game is so well-rounded, you might forget that he led the league in scoring back in 2008. He said, I've done that before. I'm capable of doing it, but that's not my job here. My job is to do a lot of everything, rebounding, passing, and defending. Guys, his versatility and completeness as a basketball player is what makes him so incredible to watch.
He can do it all, Doris. Pass, shoot, special talent. Los Angeles making a switch here. Poked loose. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Wade with the ball, and there's a nice one-handed slam.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And he gets the bucket. That's now 8 points for Kobe Bryant.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Chalmers dishes to James. Back to Chalmers. But Trey. Bryant with the rebound. Lakers trail by 3.
Lakers still pursuing another title, but it would be a real shock if that were to come this year. A lot of age and injury on this team. They lose Dwight Howard. This is a club that just doesn't have enough athleticism and speed to contend for a title.
Here's Chalmers after Pau Gasol's bucket. It's LeBron with the drive. And another basket for Miami.
His presence is very comforting for this team. He's kind of a fallback option for them anytime they need it.
Well, back to the Lakers. Clark, you think they're too old? Is this a team that needs to rebuild?
Not yet, Kevin. The saying is young doesn't win in the NBA. I think for them, health and chemistry are the most important factors. Also, I think this is a franchise that has shown it can make a home run deal, like acquiring Pau Gasol in 2007. Got 2 titles out of that move. I think they'll look to add some youth through their bench and restructure the personnel a bit, and they'll position themselves for another run, perhaps.
The Lakers trail. Nash outside. 27 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's Gasol, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. First trip to the line for him here.
Gasol taking 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. Wesley Johnson's checked in for Los Angeles. That one drops. He ties it up. For Miami, they've gone 7 of 9 in their field goal attempts here in the second quarter. Pretty good offense. The drive by James to the left side wing. Cole, the pass to Wade. With 1 on the clock, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's tied as we head to halftime. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, I've got Coach Eric Spoelstra here with me. And, Coach, what are the things you're seeing so far in this game that you'd like to change going forward?
It starts with getting some stops. We got to play off some misses, and we can't let them force us into 1 or 0 pass possessions. We've got to move the ball when we're in the half court, help each other with that, but we'd like to get some more in the open.
Eric, thank you so much. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And, folks, stay right where you are for the halftime show. Then we'll be back for the start of the second half in the third quarter.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And everything is in place and ready to go on the halftime show for this Wednesday night. The Heat are giving it everything they've got. They haven't settled on tough shots. They're taking it strong inside. They're getting quality shots and a lot of quantity of those quality shots. A great performance by LeBron in the first half. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed 1 shot. Can you believe it? Not to be outdone, the Lakers also giving it their all. Wiping the glass defensively. Look, no streaks. They're preventing any second chance opportunities. A good start for Kobe. He's got 10 points, and he's been making some nice contributions on the glass, too. That'll be all for us here at the studios as we head back to the start of the third quarter with Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris. Thanks so much for joining me.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
A soaring view over the waters of Miami as we welcome you back to action. What can you say, LeBron James? What an impressive effort today.
And what was most impressive was that his decision-making and shot-taking was very disciplined and efficient. Really an excellent half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense has given him, and he's not trying to do too much. I love the flow and rhythm he's playing with here.
Haslam and Bosh up front. Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. And it's LeBron in at the 3 slot. So that's who Eric Spoelstra starts the second half with. Young's shot is off. The Heat shooting a mind-boggling 79% off the floor.
A lot of people thought the East would be a cakewalk for Miami last year, but Indiana made sure that wasn't going to be the case. What a series with the Pacers using their size and strength to pound Miami down low, and eventually the Heat were able to pull it out, but boy, was that a tough series.
Now here's Nash. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Keeman kicks to Young. Here's Kobe. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And just to touch back on the Eastern Conference Finals, went to a Game 7 where Miami ran away with the game. But, you know, Clark, if it weren't for the heroics of LeBron earlier in the series, it could have been the Pacers that took on San Antonio in the finals.
You know, I was thinking a little bit about 2 former ABA teams meeting in the NBA Finals, but the Heat managed to steal Game 1, and I thought that proved to be the difference in the end. That was a game the Pacers had and didn't squeeze. But the way these 2 teams are constructed, they should be seeing a lot more of each other in the near future. And I think that's great for the league because whenever they meet up in the regular season or the playoffs, it's always been a battle the last couple of years.
Nice rivalry developing between those two.
I think you're right. Yeah. A good one brewing there.
And Kobe drops them both.
Guys, for Kobe Bryant last season, you talk about adversity. I mean, the coaching change, the team struggled, and finally, once they started to get back on track right at the end of the season, he tears his Achilles tendon. Tough break.
And for Kobe Bryant, the completely torn Achilles tendon. You wonder if his big minutes contributed. At age 34, he's second in the league, for instance, in minutes played. He averaged almost 46 minutes a game in the 7 games leading up to the injury. And this is a guy that when he is on the floor, high torque at all times.
Well, there's no evidence that playing all those minutes led to the injury. We know that the Lakers were in a huge battle for a playoff spot, so it's easy to see why the coaching staff decided to ride him like that. But it does make you wonder, at his age, you know, was that just too much for him?
Both free throws good from Bosch.
Well, for the Lakers last season, it seemed there was so much turmoil throughout the year. Injuries, coaching-wise, changes in the offense. And they never were able to really gain any momentum. They made a decent run at the end of the season, but that didn't carry over into the postseason when they were swept by the Lakers in the first round. He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but you know, the defense still needs to keep an eye on him.
Wade dishes to Haslam. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. I think going back to D'Antoni and the Lakers, that Howard and Gasol were made more than a little disgruntled with how Clark he made use or didn't make use of them offensively.
You know, the Lakers brought in D'Antoni to try to emphasize Steve Nash and his role in the offense, but I think they neglected how that would affect the 7-footers. Didn't do a really good job of incorporating those guys, and when you've got Kobe getting his shots, that's a tough dynamic to work through. Well, really the heart and soul of this Miami team in a lot of ways, Udonis Haslem, born and raised in Miami. He's played his entire decade-long career with the Heat and just a tough, hard-working guy and a locker room leader.
No good on the second free throw. And back to Haslam. He helped lift the Florida Gators program back to prominence, took them all the way to the NCAA championship game, playing at center of all positions.
It was really heavy back then at Florida. He had to lose a lot of weight before he was ready to play in the NBA. Went to Europe to play first. He's been the heart and soul of the Heat organization ever since.
Timeout called the Heat.
Well, what a series it was in the finals a year ago. Such great basketball. 2 teams that like to play up-tempo. And I'll tell you, the Spurs had Miami. They had the series in the bag. They were 1 play away from wrapping it up in Game 6, but the miracle comeback from the Heat that led to the Game 7 victory and another title for the Miami Heat.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, guys, I was able to listen in on what Eric Spoelstra was going over with his team in that last huddle. Their fast break offense has been lacking, in his opinion, and he let his players know about it. Look for them to really start pushing the basketball. He added one more thing as well, which was that he wants them driving the lane and taking the ball strong to the hoop at every opportunity. Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris. Clark, it was interesting because the games themselves weren't particularly close through the first half of the series, but things started to get really tight when they left San Antonio after Game 5.
How about that, Kevin? You talk about things tightening up. We had a game for the ages in Game 6. 28.6 seconds to go. The Spurs +5. Miami needed a miracle, and they found it in the form of timely three-point shooting and got some help from the San Antonio Spurs missing some free throws.
The Game 6 was about as intense an NBA game as you'll ever see.
Oh, it was off the charts. Absolutely fantastic.
And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time.
How about the night LeBron is having? He has 11 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
Yeah, and you'd expect by the end of this game, I'm sure the numbers are going to look even better.
Heyman's shot is good. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Chalmers pass to Bosch. Gasol with the steal. And Nash with the clear path to the hoop. Finished off the break. And now a 9-point Laker lead.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
Kobe with it. Wade picks him up. Young for 3. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
I agree, guys, and the points add up in a hurry when you start giving up easy looks from long range.
Bosch with the bucket.
I think he's been kind of passive today, and maybe that one will get him going. I think for them to be successful, he needs to be the one to do the bulk of the scoring.
Gasol. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assists. And it's 7 points for Pau Gasol.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
James misses.
You know, for Pau Gasol, calling last year a rough year might be an understatement. He fought off an injury and tried to find a role on a team that was in transition. A year like that can really take a lot out of a guy.
Man, what a move there to lose his man. I'll tell you what, getting his defender on his heels and then taking care of the rest with ease.
A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. It's LeBron with the drive. No good. Good work defensively by Kobe. And here's Los Angeles. They're on a 19-5 run. And Steve, for Pau Gasol, he dealt with knee tendonitis from the first day of the season, then a concussion. Torn plantar fascia. I mean, he just had one setback, it seemed, health-wise after another.
It was just that kind of season, which symbolized the fate of his Lakers, too. They just never seemed to get it going until it was too late. But, with Gasol, we're talking about a guy who's remained effective for a long time in his career. And when you have that kind of skill level, I think your game can translate as you get older.
Here's Nash after the made shot from Chalmers. The inside shot is off from Pau Gasol. Kicks it to Wade. Kobe with the steal. Here's Kaman. Powered down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
Now here is Haslam. Now the feed to Bosch. Unloads from 9. Shots good. Bosch has got 11. 1:10 left in the third quarter. Nash with it. Now guarded by Chalmers. Nash kicks to Kobe. Left side, Bryant. And it's blocked by Wade. Feeds to LeBron. Back to Wade. He kicks to Bosch. There's 42 seconds left here in the third quarter. And that one's good. Bosch has got 8 points in the quarter. Los Angeles leading by 12. And here's Nash. Dishes to Gasol. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that'll be the Lakers as it goes out of bounds. Lakers retain possession. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Hill, he's checked in for Kamen. Johnson comes in for Young. Steve Blake's checked in for Bryant. And it's Farmar in for Steve Nash. 4 on the clock. Deep 2 from Hill. Busts the J after the cagey pass fake. Hill's got his second basket of the night.
They've stepped up their three-point shooting game in the second half. They're letting it fly out there with reckless abandon.
Now they're feeling confident, and they're in a good flow offensively, so why not just keep firing from out there?
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Here's Farmar. Second chance shot. And he hits the buzzer beater.
Boy, a big bonus for them to end the quarter as he beats the buzzer.
Talk about maximizing every last possession you've got. Right there, it was done.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Los Angeles on top. They lead by 14. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. And it's time now to reveal our State Farm assist of the game. Today, Steve, it's a big man winning the honor.
And it was a no-brainer. This assist was really out of this world. I mean, he had a great understanding of the situation and where the ball had to go.
The Heat trail by 14, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Pau Gasol is out there with Johnson. Then there's Farmar, and it's Steve Blake, and it's Hill in at the 5 spot.
Good rebound there, but overall, they're getting outworked on the glass.
Steve, I think that's what you'd expect, seeing what the score is.
Here's Farmar. Hill dishes to Blake. And Ray Allen gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Miami on defense. The pass to Farmar. Takes a 3. Good. And the assist goes to Blake. Farmar's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Lakers. Heat shooting nearly 70% from the floor. They are putting on a clinic offensively. Anderson outside. Pass to Battier. He dishes it to James. Just 5 to shoot. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, you know, you look at LeBron James, maybe more than any other player in NBA history, he's great in a way that transcends position. Size, skill, savvy, know-how. I mean, he's got it all.
And he knocks down the first one. And we can talk about LeBron's ability to really play any position on the floor. When you look back, has, Steve, there ever been a player you could say that about?
I'm not sure if you could say that about both ends of the floor. I mean, there's a lot of great defensive players who could guard everybody, you know, Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman. Offensively, Magic Johnson could play any position he wanted, but to be able to do so at both ends is what separates LeBron James.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
Well, a coaching carousel for the Lakers last season. They made it only 5 games before firing Mike Brown. Then they decided to go in a new direction. And, boy, they went through 3 different head coaches before all was said and done. They never really were able to gain that consistency they were looking for.
Johnson, good.
Unselfish basketball on the interior. I love that, and you got to think the coaching staff does too.
Timeout called, the Heat. And back to the Lakers' struggles last season. What do you think, Clark, were the main problems that, held them back from being the kind of title contender that they thought they were and a lot of people imagined they were?
Well, how much time do I have? 3 or 4 shot clocks worth? I think there were a number of issues, as you might expect. Injuries played a significant role, but I think there was discord over how they should play, really no true identity. They were a big team trying to be small, a team without a number of shooters trying to spread the floor, an older team trying to go up tempo, coaching change, and that transition.
Right, yes.
You had a lot of moving parts, and it made it very difficult for everybody, I think, and it showed in how the Lakers' season went.
That's a good assessment.
And the rebounding numbers don't actually tell the whole story. They're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Hey, Kevin, I was able to hear the advice Mike D'Antoni gave to his team during that break. He told the huddle they need to go hard to the hoop whenever possible to either draw fouls or get high percentage looks right at the 10. So Coach waiting until the final stages to pull a few tricks out of his sleeve. Kevin, let's see if he's made a wise decision.
And as always, Doris, thank you. That free throw, no good.
Kobe having just a fantastic game. He has 15 points, and he's created a lot of chances for his teammates also.
And some of these passes have been absolutely beautiful, Clark.
And he sinks the second. Here's Chalmers. Passes it to Wade. Ejected by Young. Bosch against Kobe. Kaman inside. That's good. And it's Kobe with the assist. Kobe's got 5 assists tonight. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game, how it's been going for Los Angeles.
Block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. Leaving them no room to get off any shots.
The other thing they're doing, guys, is forcing turnovers and then creating points offensively as a result.
Nash, the pass to Bryant. Pass to Young. The dish to Gasol. Bryant with a screen for Gasol. It's Kobe Bryant on the wing. That's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession.
He had no choice but to lunge for that pass to stop it from getting through.
Well, that was a good job. It could have been a quick bucket if he doesn't knock it out of bounds there.
Clock is at 3. Lets it go. Wade with the defensive effort. The Heat trail by 19. Wade, right side. The drive by LeBron. That's good.
It's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, he's got to get everybody on the same page. That's the reason for this timeout. And if that happens, I think they can improve and start playing better.
It's a coach's job to always try to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of the opponent and to look for that extra edge if you can. And I think he feels like he might have seen one.
And the Lakers have possession. They've only given up 5 points here in the fourth quarter. Kaman kicks to Kobe. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
yes,
you?
Sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing.
Here's Haslam after the basket by the Lakers. Clock at 6. Back to Wade. Wade left side. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got 5 rebounds tonight. Nash against Haslam. Nash dishes to Gasol. He feeds it to Kobe. Back to Gasol. Bryant with it. He's picked up by LeBron. The drive by Bryant. And good on the basket. Book it. Kobe's got 5 points now this quarter.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them. Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just total obliteration. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Los Angeles.
Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out Clark this kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Bryant. Every time he shot it seemed like it was just going to drop in, and nobody was surprised.
And again, it's the Lakers.
Well, if it wasn't already out of reach, it is now thanks to this spurt.
Just keep on firing, man. No reason to slow down now.
James up top, defended by Young. Haslam, the pass to LeBron. Out to Wade. Knocked away. Young with the steal. Up the floor. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, it's interesting. Part of the reason Nash struggled getting used to playing with the Lakers is because he was always the guy making the offense go. The offense ran through him with his prior teams. You know, at one point in his career, Nash was known more for his shooting than anything else. An interesting turnabout in his career.
First free throw is good. And for Steve Nash, one of the great playmakers and pick-and-roll operators in league history. And Steve, you think it makes sense for the Lakers to take him off the ball?
Well, it just depends on what the rest of the roster looks like. But last season, because they really didn't want to run their offense through their bigs inside, it forced the ball into Kobe Bryant's hands more, and Nash became more of a spot-up shooter as a result.
And Nash makes both of them.
You know, people look at Steve Nash, guys, and I don't know if they automatically think tremendous athlete, but he is. He's a different type of tremendous athlete. He's not going to blind you or amaze you with his running and jumping ability, but it's his agility, his coordination, his balance, the fact that he's ambidextrous, not only with his hands, but with his feet. I mean, he's equally balanced going either way with the ball or on his pivots. And he attributes a lot of that to playing soccer and ice hockey as a youth.
And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreamlike games for a coach.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, I'm here with Steve Nash. Going into tonight's game, you were facing a huge challenge going up against one of the best teams in the NBA right now. How good does it feel to get this one?
I think it's a great lesson for all of our young guys about building a team, trying to figure out combinations and sticking together and continuing to play and finding a way to make it work. Even though, you know, teams might have better rosters, you know, we found a way to be resilient and we play pretty good basketball.
Steve, we appreciate the time. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kobe Bryant.
New dreams replace the old ones. The old ones that never came true. And the same things that make you smile can make you cry. And I know it took a while.
Why they hating, wish you and yours the best. Feel so blatant, I attribute it to I do me, later for the rest. You live in between's the real test. It starts in the mind, end with the soul. So I get crazy on the net of every goal. Sliding on my knees and I'm praying to the Lord. Begging, please let this will be yours. Who knew I opened up this can of sales? It was always true, I rap better than Santa's elves. I need it all, don't try to give me half. This is for who said I never will and never